Hello, Benedict here from PopBuzz, and I'm joined by the immensely talented Lena Waithe. Lena, how are you?
I'm good, how are you today?
I'm wonderful. Now, you are starring in the epic new movie, Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Are you willing to fight? Help us save the Oasis.
Had a chance to see it yesterday in IMAX, which was crazy.
I still haven't seen it in IMAX yet. I'm jealous.
I feel like I can see colors now that I couldn't see before. It's like,
Man,
it's like a simulator. Now, this film is sort of an ode to geek culture and fan culture.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of stuff do you geek out over?
I geek out over pop culture too. Like I was a big TV head growing up, like a show called A Different World, which was a spinoff of The Cosby Show. So I geek out over that stuff. Like I like going to TV sets and stuff because I feel like it's hollow ground.
And that's your job as well, so that's
I mean, I know, which is
bonus.
really geeky. People say like, oh, you're a television writer and you make movies, so what do you like to do for fun? I'm like, watch TV and go to the movies.
Nice. Had you read the book previously?
Well, I read the script first, then I read the book, and I just continued to be blown away by the sheer level of just imagination that these people have. And Ernie and Zach and Steven did such a phenomenal job to sort of work together to make this what I think is a pretty phenomenal movie.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So obviously, when you're on set, you know, they haven't put in all the effects and all the characters and stuff. So when you sat down to watch it for the first time, were there any characters or references that you were like, oh, I didn't know that was going to be in this?
I mean, everything, honestly. Just because there were certain parts of the story I understood while filming, just because I was able to follow along and I remember it. But there were some changes that were made prior to us getting to London. So there were a couple scenes in it that I only had Steven to guide me, to help me out. I think he knew the bigger picture, but a lot of times we didn't. But I think that's when you just gotta really trust, trust the people that are around you and know that they're gonna make a phenomenal film, and they really did.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's that huge battle scene. Like, what does that even look like in a script? Like,
oh, yeah.
Every character in the world has a big fight. Like,
I mean, yeah, I remember reading it in the script and it was phenomenal on the page, and it was even more exciting on screen.
Now, I'm anxious to avoid spoilers because I want people to enjoy the ride. So what can you tell us about your character?
Well, my character is sort of three-dimensional, literally and figuratively. You have Helen in the real world, H in the Oasis, and then ultimately the Iron Giant when it comes time to kind of fight for the Oasis. But she's really just a cool chick, she's really into gaming, she loves building things and fixing things, and I think that's something that people ordinarily wouldn't say about a girl. So I think that's one of the reasons she decided to be a guy in the Oasis. Not because she wants to be a guy, but I think she kind of wants to be treated like one of the guys, and I think it's super topical for that character to be in this film. And
there's a dual element to these characters, as you say, so they have their real world persona and then they have their online avatar. For you as an actor, what was that like? I mean, did they have you in like the ping pong ball suit? Were you doing all that,
absolutely.
All that jazz?
Yeah, I mean, for the entire time I'm in the Oasis, I'm in the sort of, I don't know what we called it, the bodysuit, so to speak, with the dots and the camera helmet. But after a while, it became, old hat. Like, I kind of got used to it and got used to running around in it and all those things.
For sure. I mean, your character's really tall as well. Did they have you on like stilts?
No, sometimes they'd have me on like a lift so that way I could be taller. Other times if I was running, they'd have like a tall pink ball for the cast to look at so that way they wouldn't be looking at my torso, which is about how tall I actually am. So yeah, there was a lot of tricks, but they worked it out. It was always good and always safe.
Is that weird when you're acting with someone and they're just like staring above you?
It is weird because Ty and Olivia and those guys would often forget, so I'd have to sometimes like look up at the ball to remind them, or else we'd have to do the take again.
Steven Spielberg.
I mean, the greatest.
Little indie director.
I know,
up and coming guy.
We'll see if he'll have a future or not.
Yeah, he's like an icon. He's like a concept.
He is. I think he is an icon at this point. You know what I mean? He's such a huge part. I mean, there are things in his movies that just are a part of our American lexicon, and I think that's when you've gone from being influencing the culture to just being the culture. And I think Steven is one of those rare birds that is just the culture.
What's that like though when you know the concept of Steven Spielberg and then you meet the guy? What's that like?
The great thing is like you already love him because he's made you so happy for so many years, but then you get a chance to know him and you see why his movies, I think, have such the impact they have, because I think he really does leave a piece of his soul on every movie he makes. And I think that's why he's so particular about the things that he decides to do, because he does leave a piece of himself with it. And I think he wants to be mindful of what those projects are. So I'm just honored to be a part of one of the things he deemed worthy of his time and his energy. And
I think the thing that everyone wants to know, what does Steven Spielberg smell like?
Oh, he smells great. He always smells expensive. I think as he should.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
There's a really interesting thing in this film, which I'd love to hear your thoughts about in terms of the way it handles like escapism and geek culture, because it sort of praises it and celebrates it, but also slightly kind of warns against it.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that's the thing about Steven movies is, even though they're obviously fun, there's a lot of bells and whistles, I think the underlying message is always too much of something can become bad. Look, science and technology, they're great, and they're just a part of our world, so we should obviously embrace it and celebrate it, but I think it can become dangerous the more you lean into it, if you lean into it too much. So I think it's a good message. It's to say, yeah, embrace it, but to always maintain some sort of balance.
I feel like you see that a lot in the modern world in geek culture. You know, there's a point where it stops becoming fun and suddenly...
Yeah, it's like then it gets a little obsessive. Yeah. And I think that's what we have to be mindful of, you know, in terms of technology, social media. I think we can be a bit of, we especially as Americans, we can be a little addictive. So I think it's just about, okay, it's cool, but sometimes you gotta take a bit of a break. Yeah,
and in terms of taking that break, in terms of like, you know, taking the goggles off sometimes, is there anything that you do where you find yourself like, I need to take a break, I've been doing this too much?
Oh man, well I'm big on social media, so my fiance is really, you know, good about slapping my hand. Social media can be all encompassing, you know, and then very consuming. And so I think we for sure have to sometimes take a step back, or otherwise you'll just be online all day, all night trying to respond to people, and you can't. And I know that's also a weird feeling because you don't want to ignore anyone, you don't want anybody to feel like they aren't being seen.
For sure.
But it's the kind of situation where your whole life you could spend just trying to respond to people and like their comments and retweet stuff.
So say this Oasis technology existed, and we don't know that it doesn't.
Right.
You get some goggles, you stick them on.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to mime it. You know what the goggles are. You're in the movie.
Yeah. The visor, yeah.
What's the first thing you're doing? What's the first character you're gonna go meet?
I might go kick it with Sonic the Hedgehog. I used to play that video game a lot as a kid. But also like the racing scene. Like the racing scenes are like really intense in the movie. I love to like actually feel like I'm doing it versus just being on a car that's sort of like jolting back and forth. Yeah. That'd be dope.
And you could race Sonic.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. He'd probably beat me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some quick fire pop culture questions.
Okay.
Test your knowledge.
Let's do it.
Let's see how you do. Can you name all of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Leonardo, Donatello, Leonardo, Donatello. Michelangelo.
This is cheating. I
know.
I didn't condone this.
What's the fourth one? They're all artists. Raphael.
Very good.
Yeah.
Didn't know you could throw your voice. That's really impressive.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Appreciate you, brother.
What's the name of the lead character in the Halo video game series?
That I have no idea.
Okay. It's Master Chief.
Master Chief. Yeah. I know. I see the images because I'm like, I know that game very well. Yeah.
I think most people just call him the Halo guy.
Yes, exactly. Halo dude.
Ooh, this is tricky. In the film Ready Player One, what is the name of Halliday's favorite restaurant? There's a little conversation.
Oh yeah, I know this. Yep. Chuck E. Cheese.
Very nice.
Boom. That's what it means when you sit through the movie 3 times.
Harley Quinn from Batman in the film. Do you know her real name?
That I don't know.
It's HARLEEN QUINZEL.
Oh wow, dude, I would have been sitting here all day.
You know, a normal name.
Yeah, exactly.
Which of these games is older? Dig Dug or Pac-Man?
I'm gonna say Pac-Man.
Correct.
There we go.
By like 1 year. So
oh, okay.
Very nice, very nice. What name did the show Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles originally have in the UK? Had a different name.
Cowabunga dude?
Miss, I like the guess. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Damn, I would have never gotten that. But Cowabunga dude would have been like a cool name.
I guess it's a better name, if anything.
I'm a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle girl too.
Really? What was it about those turtles that you were like, that's for me?
Well, they were like fun, they were cool, they had a good time, they were rebels.
They like pizza?
They like pizza.
They love
Maybe
pizza.
That's another thing too, as like a kid, if somebody likes pizza, you're like, I want to kick it with those dudes.
Last quick fire question.
Sure.
What is the name of the show about kids growing up in Chicago that was renewed for a second season at the beginning of 2018?
Oh, The Chi?
Oh, very good, yeah. Familiar with that show?
My show.
Excellent.
Perfect. For a second, I thought you were gonna do like a Breakfast Club question or something.
Oh, no. Lena, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
You've been great. Guys, go and see the film in IMAX or 3D because it's a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thanks, man. So good to meet you.
Thanks a lot.